the top brass if we were to recover them.
Has this squire already been questioned, or is he missing too?
The squire set up the post, I believe. He is in trouble for losing them or having them been stolen. Gotten them stolen.
You actually know, because it was a 20 there, that one of the Lord's other squires actually probably would have been the one to put up the post, because the one in question that lost his journal, well, I say lost his journal, was traveling through the city and was actually beaten to within an inch of his life.
Okay.
Oh!
I was speculating, so...
Okay, so he definitely was not involved.
Yeah.
Both of his legs were broken. One shoulder was broken. One wrist was broken. And his face was swollen to the point that his mouth was almost swollen shut.
Aiden, I believe it would, if we were to talk to the Order, I believe it would be best if we talk to them around 7 or 8 when they're eating breakfast. Right now they are practice firing.
That's not to get in their way, then.
Loud noises, at least.
And he will retire.
Okay.
Actually, is that park area in the city big enough to be considered good enough to erase the steel curse? Or not erase it, but use it?
Yes.
Okay,
That's part of the reason for what it is.
Okay, yeah.
If you have a look...
Wait, is that the green zone, or...?
Yeah, that's the green zone.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that small. I thought it was outside the city. My bad.
If you zoom in and you look at the size of most of the buildings, that's not actually a small area.
No,
Nice.
I'm not saying it was small. I was just expecting something different. That's
Yeah.
But I will go there and meditate for a few hours while the sun's up.
Well, the sun's going down now.
Oh, fuck.
You're at sunset.
I will retire.
Okay.
Tenzin, do you drink ale?
I can. However, it doesn't quite settle well with me.
If it's good ale or it's bad ale, it doesn't settle well for anyone. Alright, so we're doing this then.
What do you say about my ale?
It's good, sweetie. It's great.
Not supposed to be
Thank
calling me
you.
sweetie anymore.
Okay, darling.
Gonna have to throw her out one of these days.
Poke the bear. Poke.
So, Turnen, a round of ales for us. We are figuring out.
On the way.
Yep.
He sends another round of ale around.
And we are gonna have a little drinking competition, and then we're gonna head to bed. Jamie, you can feel free to roll, but I don't have to roll, so that's fine.
What do you mean you don't have to roll?
Well, because you're going to roll a 1, and I've already rolled, so I'm going to roll a 1. Because you
Alright.
jinxed us.
What do you mean you're not rolling? Roll, bitch.
Hang on, I'm just gonna.
What are you
Dude.
rolling for?
Yes, for the drinking.
Are
I'm
you
chemically
really cheating?
perfect.
Are you... Hang on. Aiden comes back.
I'm not cheating. I'm not
Hang
cheating.
on.
I can just not get drunk. It's different.
I stare at you intently.
Yes. Yes.
Roach? Why are you scamming people?
I'm not. I just don't get drunk. I got a constitution like a dragon.
So this entire night you've been pretending to be drunk.
He got me at the first night as well. We were drinking elven wine.
The player
I thought you
might
were
not
a man.
have realized that he couldn't get drunk until he suggested a drinking competition.
Hold
Yep.
on a minute. Hold on. This is Durnan from behind the bar.
Uh-huh.
You didn't say you were drinking against a paladin. Pass 10 gold over this way, and we'll make this a fair contest.
Oh.
I pass 10 gold.
He brings out
magical.
He brings back a bottle from behind the bar.
Aiden stands back.
Here comes a magical ale.
He sets it on the table.
All right.
And he looks at it and he says, "The finest of Moradin's imbued ale."
Points to himself, the finest of the paladins of the Iron Soul. And he swigs.
He turns and goes back to the bar as you're about to bring it up, and he looks at the rest of the group and he says, You lot have to carry him to his room now.
Are we gonna have to clean up after him too?
I have power armor on, just to point that out. I'm weighing 400 pounds.
Roll
We're gonna have to
roll me,
assemble him and put
roll
him back
me,
together.
How you're having a big drink of this?
Yeah. Like a big...
Roll me a con save at disadvantage.
Oh, that bad? Oh.
Please tell me Tenzin's still here at the
14.
table.
14.
I mean,
He's still good better than me.
Yeah. He brought.
I am still here.
He brought this
Oh my
stuff
God.
back from the underground, and this was the stuff that the dwarven paladins of old used to get drunk on. You have a big swig of that, and by the time your head tips forward again, the world is spinning a bit.
I barely feel it. It's good.
Now, Zai, you're drinking the regular stuff, and your world's spinning a bit too at the moment.
It's good for your belly.
You guys going again?
Fuck no!
I paid 10 gold for this.
Paid 25.
How much is left of for this? Of the, like, if that was a big swig, how much?
You're probably about a quarter of the way through what he's left on the table.
Okay. Okay, in that case, he would walk over and like one fourth of it, he would kind of like pour a little bit in each ale and say, "All right, we're gonna do this, and I'm sure we will all figure out a very good name at the time, or if we wake up."
The drunkards.
And he would swig the rest of it.
All right, who else is swigging?
I'll do that thing where they go to swig it and then they just chuck it behind their shoulder.
All right, Madman. Roll me another one at disadvantage.
I mean, this is the first time he's gotten drunk since becoming paladin,
Yeah.
so...
So might as well kill myself.
Yeah. Alcohol poisoning. 11. Yay.
Oh shit!
on this one, you all watch as he throws this glass back. And he throws it back with enough force that he goes backwards over the chair. And this power armor hits the ground. And he just kind of sits there holding the empty glass for a second.
He's passed out, you know.
Excelsior.
No, his eyes are still open. He's just on his back, not moving, kind of staring at the ceiling.
Tenzin, would you mind lending a hand? We should probably get him to his room.
Very well.
We're gonna very slowly drag the idiot paladin up to his room.
Give me some strength checks.
I have enough strength to pull him.
Yeah,
Drag it.
good.
Yeah, the check is not necessarily going to be to say that you can do it. You can certainly do it, but the check is going to see how graceful it is.
Oh wait,
I will
athletics or strength
You
check?
can roll
assist
athletics
Tenzin.
if you've got it. Yeah.
I will
Doesn't
assist.
make any
Tenzin.
difference.
There's already two of them rolling on it, so you wouldn't be able to assist them
Oh, okay.
while they're already.
Aiden does
Yeah,
the
weak
thing where
little
he
arms
puts
anyway.
a hand on it, like, yeah, I'm helping.
The two of you go to grab him and drag him, And Zai, you're carrying him fairly well. Tenzin, you can lift the weight, but he's just kind of this bulky, dead weight. And balancing him, there's a couple times that you kind of drop him on the stairs or, run him into the wall a couple times.
Hit the head.
It's not the most graceful thing, but you do eventually get him up the stairs to the room.
Well, it wasn't drunk from
Put him on the bed and then we're like,
To a lot of laughing and howling to the other patrons of the bar.
Great.
yes, sir, I'm glad we gave you a show as well. It's very amusing,
And
isn't
the
it?
entire time,
Everyone's
Tenzin,
toasting to you, cheering you.
The entire time, Tenzin's just like,
oh, I'm so sorry. My apologies. Please.
Like this.
As we sit him down on the bed, I look at Tenzin and I go, do you think he sleeps in the armor?
Can readjust his nose after like hitting a wall?
Yeah, just. I do not believe that he does. But I don't think we can take it off.
No, I don't see a latch or a buckle. Maybe we just tuck him in and I just pull the rug over the armor.
So
And just sort of tuck him
400
in.
pounds on the bed, and the bed is already like
Little rug on top.
So in the middle of the night, you just hear boom.
And then pulls the rug off the floor and throws it on top of him. That will be an interesting wake up in the morning.
I'm gonna go
If I
check on
wake up.
Zeph as well.
I'm sure he will be fine.
Yeah. I mean, we can check back on him in the morning as long as he doesn't check and he's on vomit. That was a bit morbid. Night, Tenzin.
Good night.
I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. I'm just going to nip to the loo real quick. I'll be 2 minutes.
I'm gonna check on Zephyr. Just like prick my head, like through the
He's
door.
a teenager. He's jacking off.
Oh god. I don't think that's very.
Nah, he's sleeping.
No, mommy, no.
Nah.
Was
He is
wrapping
sleeping.
presents.
But he has
Stop it.
He has nightmares. He's got constant nightmares.
Oh.
Oh, I'm gonna tuck him in.
Oh,
Just gonna pat his head.
it's gonna be
Fucking-
oh no, not there. Ah!
Tenzin's gonna have to help you find inner peace.
Yeah.
I
So,
think he has
one
a
of
lot
these
of work
days, you
ahead of
guys are
him,
gonna come into this, like.
What are you doing? I'm finding inner peace.
Tenzin said it was natural.
It's true. It is natural.
I saw it on TV, or what? I was browsing, found it.
Zephyr, it's perfectly natural, just not in the middle of the marketplace.
Alexa, hallway on.
Oh God.
Okay.
He's a teenager, not a moron. Oh, sorry. Those two are the same thing.
Oi, I'm actually 16. I'll have you know.
I'm
I'm
back.
old.
You missed it, Kate.
What did I miss?
Oh,
It's
nothing.
recorded.
It's fine.
I'll just watch it back on the
Zephyr's
replay.
technically older than Tenzin.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
And the elven child that you're being asked to find is older than most of you.
What? I just got back. Sorry, I had a phone call.
No, they were just talking about the fact that Zephyr's technically older than Tenzin. And I pointed out, and the elven child that you're on about looking for is older than most of you.
Well, how much would we know? How much would humans know about, like, when elves get mature?
Well,
Considering
It's 100.
the first age, what humans know of the first age would have said that elven maturity was around 100 to 120. That's kind of the age of adulthood.
is that something just people know, or
In Titan, it's common enough because there are some elves here.
It's in the history books at the very least.
Yeah, it is in the history books. So yeah, there's every chance that you could know it.
I'm not a well-read man.
Then maybe roll a d20 and on a 11 or higher, you know that.
Okay,
Thankfully, Tenzin has every single knowledge check.
That's very good.
He's a very well-read person.
The only thing I have that I think that not all of you have is repair.
I have technology. Technology. Technology.
I have repair.
Is there a ley line in this inn?
Let me just have.
There might be a ley line going down into the
Ooh,
well.
Ooh.
spooky.
You would think that it might go into the well, right?
That we just threw a bomb down.
Yeah. That's not going to disturb the ley line. Don't worry about it.
No.
Unless it was a magical bomb. Oh my.
It was a magic
It
bomb.
specifically was a magical.
Oh shit. Well, there was a ley line there.
There actually is a ley line running through the center of the pub.
Neat. It's not damaged or anything, is it? So look alright? Because magical bomb, I guess in theory. I have royal vision as well.
No damage necessarily to the ley line. What you do notice about this one is that it is quite a chaotic line. Now, whether that's because of the bomb or whether that's because of something else, you don't know. But whereas a lot of lines that you know of are a kind of steady stream, this one seems to have lots of kind of twists and eddies, and if you can imagine like a flowing river, and then imagine that same river but with a lot of rocks in the bottom, it's still going to flow, but it's flowing less in a straight line and more kind of in waves and twisting patterns. It's very much like that.
Okay. I'll note this down for later.
And for the record, that line is coming from the southwest and moving towards the northeast.
Northeast. Okay, thank you. So,
If you have a look at the map, roughly it's cutting through Titan as you draw a line between the two royals there.
Cool.
awesome, thank you.
All right.
Casey, do I ever wake up, or should I re-roll character?
We'll find that out shortly. Is there anyone else who wants to do anything else that evening?
Where does our farmer... Oh, why did my Roll20 die on me? Where does Kerr live? Does he
Well,
live nearby?
he doesn't have anywhere to live. He's kind of been hanging out with you guys here, because
I would say that he would take up Tenzin's room, and we would have a way to put the pig in the stables.
okay. Yeah, there is.
I'm gonna
there
go
is a
visit the pig
stable
then.
attached. There is a stable attached, and you actually probably have noticed that there have been a couple nights where Kier has actually spent the evening in the stable with the pig.
Okay.
In part because he doesn't like leaving him alone, and in part because the room is a bit fancy and strange for him.
Got it. I mean,
I'm
he gets the
gonna go
bed.
visit-
It's Tenzin just spreads.
Yeah, no, that's the
does crisscross
that's
on the
kind of
thing.
the problem. Is it's like
Oh, okay.
beds and sheets and things.
It isn't like that.
Well, he's
not used to
never-
it.
Yeah, he's never seen things like that really before. He's never had them.
It's
you know,
pretty hideous human.
sheets that his equivalent of sheets were like, straw, hay,
So mean.
Maybe if you were having a good way of things, you might have a blanket to lay on top of you while you were in the hay. But on this particular night, he is in the room. So, Zai, you go down to see Lord High Muck, and he is
And I give him the apple.
He eats that greedily.
Who's a good little pig? Who's a good little pig? They say you have a charisma of 6, but I think you have a charisma of 20. You're a good little pig.
He kind of smiles at you and then breaks the most foul, stinking wind.
Oh, then that's my cue to leave. My time, Mark. I'm gone.
And that's where the charisma comes from.
Ah,
It's the charisma.
charisma at work.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Happy, happy, happy. Oh, that smell.
So,
Yeah.
morning there.
Oh, that's a stink.
And
Stink.
yeah, if no one else has anything to do that evening, morning comes.
Yeah, I'm up at 5. About between 4:30 and 5.
Okay, is anyone up earlier than 4:30?
No.
When do we go to bed?
Fuck no.
Between 9 and 11.
I went to bed around 7, so that's why I'm up
Great.
early.
Jesus Christ, you guys. I thought like, oh, I have military training. I would be up at 6 a.m. flat every morning. But no.
No. I have a rigorous thing I need to do. So I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna ask for the usual for Aiden, because I think that he's the one that's got the heaviest hangover. So Aiden gets his normal ginger ale, lime juice, brandy, and gin combined together in a small little stirrup with bacon on the side and some eggs. That's his cure. Now, the cure for Sia is basically the standard Dutch way: 2 beers next to each other and a nice platter laid out with bacon and eggs. Well, I think that the paladin, he tends to be immune to everything, so he's gonna have egg yolk, lemon juice, Worcester sauce combined with bacon bits and vinegar spin together in one. And when I have all this mixed in together, he's gonna have 2 burgers because he's usually got a vigorous appetite in the morning.
He's such a teenager. Yeah, I'm having 2 burgers for breakfast.
yeah, that's how we're thinking. So he's gonna bring that up to each and every room when around 5:30. So that's why I get up early to fix everything, because he's going on adventure again. He's ready.
Okay. The cook, even after a few days of this, is still very confused by your requests.
Disgusted even.
But you
So-
do eventually get them.
Yeah, so he has been reading online that these are the best cures to have depending on where you're from in the world. And I based them off a hangover cure that I found online, by the way. So he would have read this and like, oh yeah, that's what they need to have.
Got it. Yeah, so you start going around.
Yeah.
Eodin and Tenzin answer the doors, no problem whatsoever. They're both pretty much up and about.
I take off my oil can for Tencent.
Oh,
He
that's really
takes it.
sweet.
He takes it and says,
This is vaguely racist. But
I'm so sorry. I thought that was the right thing to do. I'm so sorry, Tencent. I can take it back and get you a bear.
no, thank you. I will take the oil.
Okay.
So,
Don't scare me like that.
It's like it actually is what I want, but I'm still
oh,
telling you.
so it's like waking up. Jeez.
Then it's like, next one. If she doesn't answer, I'm gonna look inside. Is she somewhat indecent?
Zai,
Well,
Make a decision.
oh, roll for it. Roll for it.
Roll for drunken state of undress.
Because if she is, I won't know what to do. I can't take my eyes off her.
I'd say at that point you are.
So I can't.
Oh, 2? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be standing there in the corner until Aiden or someone sees me. Like, I can't stop looking, but I don't dare to go in because I'm standing there like shaking with a flutter. Like,
Girl!
Aodin and Tenzin, the two of you are awake, and you watch as he goes up to Zai's door, knocks a few times, no answer, opens the door and goes to step in, and then just freezes in the doorway.
Tenzin would come up and say, "What is wrong? You seem... Oh, I see."
I don't know what to do.
Oh, like.
Tenzin would very slowly put his hands over his eyes, like over Zephyr's eyes, and then turn him away.
He turns away. It's like, you should feed her. He's gonna give you the plate.
Very well.
Tell
Do
her
not worry.
Tell her I'm sorry. And it was as good for her as it was for me.
I go invisible and make a loud banging sound outside the door to get her attention.
Okay.
You do?
You go invisible and you make a loud banging sound.
Not like a loud sound, so it makes it seem like they're, obviously peeking, right?
Okay.
To draw your attention. See if they're fast enough.
Zai, roll me perception with disadvantage. The DC is going to be 11 because he is trying to make you hear him.
Disadvantage. Let's do that. Persuasion? That's right. Where is it? Where's perception?
Right next to it.
I don't have it on my sheet.
You're
Performance and
I can guarantee that you do.
I don't. I will take a screenshot. I don't have it on my
It's fine.
sheet.
You can just add it real quick.
yeah, it's actually not on her sheet.
What?
I've seen. No,
Why did
it's
I
not
have
that
perception?
unusual. It's happened for me before.
That's fucked up.
It's a weird bug.
Nope.
I got a 10. So the DC was 11. I didn't hear shit.
She does not wake.
Here we go.
Just invisibly, I'm standing there really disappointed. God damn it.
So I'm gonna run with
The other two of you heard the bang, the noise.
I'm gonna run with the plate like next one is gonna go to Madman, and I'm gonna pretend like nothing.
You knock the door and you can hear.
Inaudible groaning.
Madman,
Yes.
have our roach there roll me a Constitution save.
9. Yay.
There go those 20s. Only 20s.
Never.
You
Never
hear the knocking on the door, and you kind of stir for a second, and as you open your eyes, the world spins again, and you go to roll over and start to be sick, and as you do, the bed breaks beneath you as you shift your weight in the power armor. Zephyr, you hear a groan, then a loud crash, and then some vile sounds.
Is he okay?
You'll open her door, but you won't open his door when it sounds like he's dying?
Kill me.
She didn't sound like she was dying. She just needed breakfast. I'm gonna open the door, but this time I'm gonna have both my weapons out. Like, come in, kick down the door, like, ah.
Yeah.
The bed is kind of tilted to the side where half of it's collapsed, and you find the paladin laying on the ground on his side, kind of halfway in a pool of his own sick.
He would kind of like take the blankets and like kind of like wipe it off, and then kind of try to move away from it, and say, "I'm just gonna." Yeah.
Madman, you do not have the benefits of having rested overnight.
So I'm gonna shove this drink of mine into him.
Oh yeah, dude! I'm gonna use miracle cure on me.
Oh.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cure. I will neutralize disease or poisons.
Okay.
So I basically you see him like, give him a minute, and like just a syringe in his neck. Ah!
I'm Tyler.
I'm up.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm talking like this.
You now are no longer hungover, but you still do not have the benefits of rest.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Just sits up and like,
Did you just do drugs in the middle of the tavern?
not in the middle in my room.
Rust, you look like shit. It's like you look like I did when they put a needle into my neck and drew out the blood from my veins
Looks it.
for days. You look like that.
Feel like that. I don't.
Breakfast.
I just give me a minute, and I'll be there. Just,
I'll be eating your face with breakfast as well.
I'm just gonna, focus on sitting up for the next few minutes.
This burger will stink, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat that.
Anchovy on burger, just saying.
Ugh.
Oh,
Why?
that's fair.
Yep. It's
Right.
just things.
So,
And
I guess we're heading out.
AFK making a coffee, and I'll head out together with the group.
By the way, I will say Tenzin would have went in, shut the door into Zai's room, shut the door, got her dressed, and just sort of like puppeteered her so that she's like up, and made sure that she's like starting to eat breakfast.
It's like bush, brush.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me another perception check, Zai.
Now that I actually have it on my sheet. 18.
I have 1 point of exhaustion, right?
You do, yes, Madman. Zai, you wake up as Tenzin is dressing you.
I just look down, I look around the room, I look at the food. Since Zafir's done this like a few times before, I'm like, this is fine. This is my life now. What's Tenzin gonna do? He's a fucking warforged.
To be fair, it would be like maybe not normal, but there would be several warforged or automatons
Automaton.
that would like have this specific task, like dressing their
She's
master.
sort of like just like woken up. She's like standing like this while he's like putting
Spin.
up her top.
Spin, the spin, right leg,
Spinning around
left
like
leg. One of these days, Tenzin is going to discover that he has a sexuality, and this is going to be way more creepy.
He's gonna think back to this moment and be like, oh.
Tenzin does say, you were in a state of undress, which made young Zephyr very nervous. So I took over his duties for today.
Oh. That's gonna haunt me.
It's a
Good
child.
Lord.
It's a child, Jamie. For
Child.
shame. Ugh.
I've corrupted a child already. We're not even 2 hours into the campaign.
You are a warlock, to be fair.
I am a warlock.
Yeah.
Shall we go downstairs, Tenzin? Perhaps where there's a bucket.
Yes, we shall.
Good.
As you are leaving Zai's room, both of you can at this point notice the smell coming from Christopher's room.
I cleaned it up.
No, they're coming out as you're cleaning it up.
I covered it up. How about that? Like I put the mattress.
Tenzin
up.
will walk in
Smell like
and
it.
start prestidigitating as well.
Yeah, so looking
Cleaning that
at
up.
that as well. Oh wait, I don't think I have prestidigitation.
Christopher will kind of stand there, half like embarrassed. Like, I'm going to need to talk to Sai about this because I do not. I can't afford to pay for this.
By this time as well, Kier has woken up and has come into the room and just kind of silently, without speaking to anyone, started like cleaning up things and picking up things, and he's picking up pieces of broken wood from the bed and kind of stacking them.
Yeah, Tenzin would ask him to put them in place on the bed, and then he starts mending the bed as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Of course.
Oh, my poor wallet. All my money went towards that drink that fucked me up.
Which you left half of on the table.
So yeah, I guess if we are kind of done with our morning routines, we head out.
Actually, if
sorry.
if Tenzin would have been able to, he would have taken the bottle with him and kept it.
Yeah,
Go.
I'll say you were holding the bottle as well. That's why you were so clumsy and running him into walls and things.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah. So the bottle is actually sitting on the end table then, next to the bed.
Casey, one of these days, I'm gonna nail that shit, and I'm gonna be fine. Okay.
All right, and it is morning. You are ready to set off.
I'm back.
All right, we are currently heading out.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Where?
Are we going to go speak with the elven maid mother?
Yes, I do believe that was our objective, but we should step by the order, just check. I believe Aiden had some questions that he wanted to ask, correct?
Well, I mean, it would be useful if we could find out where these scrolls are being sold at or sold to.
I don't believe the order would know, otherwise they wouldn't have posted the order.
Weren't we
Of
just going to
course not,
save?
but some information about the boy
Mm.
would give us it.
I thought we were just going to save the
Perhaps if
water.
we know
That's what I thought as well.
Yes. We will save the maiden, of course. That's highest priority. But it's 7 a.m. and I don't know if they are awake.
Guys, we should not take any payment.
And this is why you don't handle the money.
So
Me and Aiden
mean,
looked at
though.
each other like, that's not happening.
So mean. Taking all her money just to save a kid. It's like so mean.
We'll talk about it when the quest is complete.
Yeah,
Alright.
just for the record, for geography's sake,
Mm-hmm.
I've centered things on the map of Titan.
Yep.
You may have to zoom in to get a good look at it.
Yeah.
Where you are currently is at the point of that red dot.
Yeah.
So you're down here.
Mhm.
The paladins are there, where the blue tack now is.
Yes.
And the elf maid in the green zone is somewhere over in this area.
So we're going in two opposite directions.
I mean, how long would it take for us to walk across town? Like just like diameter.
Oh, one round.
It's like good 20 feet.
Well,
I'll
it's
do
only
the
30
one.
feet.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, no,
It's
this is not.
wait,
The
wait.
mini map is not to scale.
Give me one round, I can get there. You guys go that way. We'll meet back in the middle.
On foot, you're probably looking at 2 hours to reach the paladins.
I mean, in that case, maybe we should go and fix the
Maiden.
maiden first.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Because
I
I
will ask.
The Rust Knight
However-
is always correct.
Tenzin will ask, however, if it is possible to know the contents of these records so that we may better know the motive of these people who would take it.
Motive.
Well, I rolled a nat 20 from just remembering them talking about this, but I know kind of what kind of reports.
You know that the content of the message, of the notes rather, is information which the Lord's Squire was privy to about both his own personal life and the inner workings of his role within the Knights. All things which are
Like a lot of
secretive.
personal stuff.
All things which
Classified stuff?
are classified should not be public. To the fact that even the paladins who are looking for it are basically being told, if you find what you think might be it, don't read it, bring it to the Lord.
Well, that means definitely read it.
So,
I do agree that we should do that eventually, because I'm interested with that, but Maiden first.
let's go to the elf.
Yeah.
Okay. You head out of the tavern, make a loop around onto the southern main road, and head northeast along it. That means that you do pass through the area only about a block away from the
Eternal Nothing.
The Eternal Nothing. My head's going completely blank on that. Yes. So you can actually see it from the road where you are. And as usual, there are people there, either kind of sitting around it, meditating, or taking a moment to observe it, or things of that nature.
I'm gonna stop for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sit myself down on knee, and I'm gonna do a silent prayer.
Okay.
All right, I'm done. I'm gonna jump up and go start walking.
Okay, yeah. The Eternal Nothing, for anyone who's not read through the background on it, is a disc about 50 feet in radius that is perfectly circular, perfectly level, perfectly smooth, and somehow or another seems to have been laid on the ground out of pure platinum. No one can explain how it was created or when it was created. Rumor has it that it was there before the city of Titan was, and that the city may have been built around it rather than it being built in the city. And there's a very strange phenomenon that happens where if you stand in the exact center of it, the reflections that form basically mean that the entire world around you disappears and you see just nothing but sky both above and below you. So it is kind of a very famous place that people want to come see. From there, you pass some kind of wealthy merchants on the right. You pass through kind of some more industrial craft districts on the right. The wealthier merchants are on the left, many of which have their homes above their shops. You continue on until you reach the green zone, and as you step into the green zone, the feel of everything around you kind of changes. Whereas you have been passing very much through kind of industrial city, you step into an area where once you've actually passed through the gate and under the awning of trees, you are completely surrounded by greenery.
You can kind of see Roaches kind of hesitate a little bit, like right before he enters, like, then.
It's actually it's actually manicured in such a way that once you're in it, trees actually block the view out, so that you actually, as far as you can see, you see trees.
if
I think-
if oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, as he walks in, I was just gonna say I do like this. Oh, hay fever. Then I'm gonna follow you.
Oh yeah, and Roker has his helmet on because he is hungover as fuck, and these things have shades.
Got it. You make your way into the green zone. Do I assume you're going to ask people about Llewellyn, or how are you planning on finding her? You know that she has a small home in this area, but there's no specifics on where it is.
Hi,
I
have you heard about Llewellyn?
Yeah.
Hi, have you heard about Llewellyn? Hi, have you heard about Llewellyn? Yeah, that's me.
I would suggest Aiden kind of leads the search, considering he's an elf, and they are probably more open
Now that's
for that.
racist.
It's a bit
It is.
racist.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not racist. It's
I
stereotype.
thought the
If I
oil
get- if
can
I
was
get a
racist,
single
but
positive
damn.
response, I'm gonna send them to Aiden.
Okay. Then either Aiden or Zephyr roll me investigation, with the other one assisting to give advantage.
I'm assisting. It's him doing
Yeah.
it. I'm just saying. Have you heard about?
19.
Okay.
Nice.
It
I
doesn't
messed
take you
it up.
long at all. No, you don't have to roll. It's a good thing you don't have to roll.
That's a wasted one.
Oh, thank God he didn't roll.
Guys, the rules were clear. Only nat 20s. Not nat
Only in that
1s.
20s. Only in 20s.
I think we just heard only nat. You know, nat 1, nat 20, either one.
Ah, okay. That's my bad.
We're rolling coins instead of dice.
That'd be interesting.
One of these days I want to play a game like that.
Mm.
Everything is a critical success or a critical fail. Nothing in between.
That has to be a one shot.
That's this group half the time.
That's true.
That's true.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. So, you don't take too long, about half an hour, until you do find someone that can point you in the right direction. And you head down one of the trails and around a corner and eventually find your way to a very small, you would probably call it a hovel. It's a tiny little place. You do know that there are grand kind of homes built in the branches of the trees above. This is not one of those. This is kind of curled into the base of a knot in one of the larger trees.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a cave made out of the tree that has had a thatched roof extended out from it and a door added to it.
I will try
Go
to
ahead.
stay like next, like so. If they open the door, I will try to not be like in sight. So kind of, Aiden is in focus.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll give a knock on the door and see who answers.
Okay. You knock on the door.
When he does
and-
that, I have to, because it's my character. When he does, I'm gonna do.
Just stare at you.
Okay. Yeah. You do so, and give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Everyone or just him?
Just Aoden knocking on the door.
23.
Okay. You hear a moment's quiet sobbing being kind of brought to a close, and then kind of a very faint, what sounds like an elderly elf woman asking, "Yes, who's there?"
Leowin, my name is Aoden Arcanine. I come bearing assistance for your lost daughter. We wish to help.
But by the time you get halfway through we wish to help, the door flies open, and this old woman is halfway dragging you inside. My daughter, have you seen her? Do you know where she is? Has she contacted you?
Calm yourself, ma'am. It's okay. We have no information new, but we come seeking information from you. We promise we will do our best to find her, but we have little to go on for now.
You can see she noticeably kind of deflates as you say you don't know anything at this time. But then as you say you're helping, she kind of comes back up a little bit again, and oh, thank you. I didn't think anyone would answer the ad. I know that most adventurers want a lot more than what I can offer, but it's all I have. I'm desperate to see her again. She's been gone nearly 3 weeks now.
When was the last time you saw her? What was she doing?
Don't worry, ma'am. I don't handle the money, so it's fine.
So the fuck out of you, boy.
She kind of looks you over for a moment.
Where's blue, little one?
And then,
Where's blue? I'm missing one.
well, they can keep missing it.
What?
Little one, what are you doing?
No.
Who is that? Is that your fiance, Kim?
Grumpy face?
Yeah.
I thought that was someone talking to Casey.
No.
Like, I thought that was Casey's wife or something. I was like, what?
No.
No. I'm just responding to what I'm hearing.
Okay.
She looks you over for a moment and kind of pauses, and then she takes a breath and she says, my daughter, she was gifted, and she was frustrated.
What do you mean gifted? Like me?
She kind of looks at you and no, more. And she turns and she looks at Aodin and she says, you wear the marks of one of our wizards. My daughter was not trained, but she had the gift, and she was unhappy here. I know that. She did not feel that we were welcome enough here. But I have no money to make the trip, the long trip back. I've been saving, but I don't have enough. So she was upset with me. She stormed out late at night, angry. We had argued, and we've argued before, and she's always returned by morning. But I've not seen her since.
Did she or you tell anyone about her gift?
I did not. It's not the most well received thing here. I mean, we are permitted to live here. That is more than most of these cities would give. So I should not complain, but there are still those who are not happy to have us here. And
Yeah, tell me about it.
I don't know if she told anyone. I did not.
Sorry.
Do you have a picture or artist rendition of your daughter?
Aiden is so smart. I was about to ask that.
She
Is anyone with me outside, or is everyone besides me inside? And am I
No,
within
I'm outside.
airdrop?
Are you just standing outside this house awkwardly?
Yeah, I mean, I
Well-
was thinking like I would be very like
There's room
paladin
for,
walking would be
there's room for
intimidation.
maybe 3 of you to have gone in and the house is full.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
I would
thinking
have
like
stayed outside.
yeah, I would do more harm than good being there. So
Yeah, right
Perfect.
now you're just making all of her neighbors nervous.
yeah, like
Everyone
standing
else.
there, like kind of swaying a little bit. No.
She walks over to a cupboard and she takes out a wooden box, and looking at it, you can see that it was certainly crafted in the First Age. It bears all of the marks of being crafted in the old elven cities. And she opens up this box, and then inside of it she unfolds a silken handkerchief, and you recognize that as spider silk, and you immediately know that these items are worth much more than someone should have living in a hovel like this.
I look at her for. Oh, sorry.
And she takes out of the silk what looks like it almost looks like a walnut that's been polished to almost a mirror sheen on a chain of vine. And she takes it out and she opens the walnut like a locket. And as she does, a shimmering light comes out of the locket, and you can see an image of a young elf girl. And based on the age of the image, or of the girl you're seeing in the image, you know that this girl is supposed to be around 65 now. You say that this image is probably 25 years ago.
Hmm.
And she holds it up and she says, "This is the only image which I have been able to keep of her. Since arriving here, we have had no money for portraits or memory or memory keeping."
Hey, lady, is it okay if I copy this?
If you have the ability, by all means, if it helps.
Thanks. Okay.
Now I'm getting worried.
I'm watching you very.
Yeah, like,